Chapter 2. Construction of the Chart. We will now turn to the chart itself and, first of all, give a short general description of its construction and purpose. It will be noticed that the whole chart is divided by a horizontal line into two parts. The uppermost, coloured blue, to represent the heaven or heavenlies, and the lower, coloured green, the earth, so as thus to show the transactions in each sphere separately, as well as the points at which they come into contact. Below this middle line, the successive epochs are indicated by narrow oblong and perpendicular lines numbering 10 epochs in all, as shown by the figures at the lower margin of the chart, while the various dispensations are represented for the most part by small circles between each of the epoch lines, also numbering 10 in all, as marked by the capital letters at the bottom from A to K. The narrow red line that runs through the three dispensations C, D, and H, i.e. from the call of Abram to the captivity, where it is broken off and again resumed in the millennium, is intended to represent the history of the Israelites as a nation, under the special and direct government of God, during which he could say of them, "Ye are my people." After the captivity, more than 2,000 years ago, they ceased to be a nation of God's people, and they have ever since continued in the Lo Ami position of not my people, having been cast off for their repeated rebellions. Hence the break or discontinuance of the red line at Epoch 5. But they will be restored again as a nation to God's favour and to their own land, as stated in Hosea 1 verse 10. In the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of a living God. Therefore the red line is again resumed and continued through the millennial dispensation. The great image of Daniel chapter 2 is used to represent the times of the Gentiles, or the history of the nations of the world, from the time of Nebuchadnezzar to the end of the age, extending through the three dispensations E, F, G, from epochs 5 to 8. The Christian dispensation is shown in an oblong space, marked F below, and divided into two parts, the ministries of John the Baptist and of Christ, and the church period. In this latter portion, the professing church, or Christendom, is indicated by the figure of the seven-branched candlestick, because it is so represented in Revelation chapter 1 and verse 20, and its history is given in the addresses to the seven churches, from Ephesus to Laodicea, Revelation 2 and 3. In this division, the oval figure that is seen is intended to represent the one body, or the assembly of God, composed of all true Christians, wherever they are found, whether scattered among the various denominations, or, it may be, not connected with any of them. And it is seen again in the oval above in the heavens, after the first resurrection. The dark space immediately following the Christian period is intended to show the day of tribulation, Daniel 7 verse 1 and Matthew 24 verse 21. And the semicircle that follows this represents the millennium, its red line showing that Israel is now restored. The next shaded space after the millennium and Epoch 9 indicates the last apostasy and final battle, after which is the judgment of the great white throne, and this carries us down to the very end of this world's history. Then follow the new heaven and new earth that emerge into the eternal state, which is indicated by the arc of an endless circle. The lines in the heavens show the first coming of Christ to this world, his ascension to heaven, and then the two stages of his second coming, first for his saints, before the day of tribulation, then with them, just before the millennium. The larger oval figure in the heavens and the crown below represent the saints of the first resurrection, the New Jerusalem, reigning from above over the earth during the 1,000 years of the millennium. The serpents and the crooked or zigzag lines that appear in different parts of the chart are intended to represent that old serpent called the devil and Satan, Revelation 12 verse 9. First of all, he is seen as the prince of the power of the air, Ephesians 2 verse 2, and also as the god of this world, 2 Corinthians 4 verse 4. Next we see this great serpent cast down from the heavens to the earth during the day of tribulation, and after that day closes he is bound in the bottomless pit for 1,000 years. Being again loosed, he comes to the earth to lead its inhabitants in their last rebellion and utter destruction, after which he is finally cast into the lake of fire. Revelation 20 verses 7 to 15. Each of the foregoing points, which have been just glanced at in a general way, will be treated of more fully when they come up for consideration in their regular order.